Only when necessary. Ehi! Come! Come on, bonehead. Hello, Elmo the Destroyer. EC 420. We're just outdoors, making sure we're not burning down the forest. Turn out this red light. There we go. No, I'm in Florida. I've never been to the Bohemian Grove. It's just my backyard. It might seem a little elegant because I did some landscaping today. Hold on one second. I gotta call my dog. Ei! Let's see here. $3 a.m. Why does everybody ask me if I'm transgender? I guess it's rhetorical. I get it. I'm androgynous. Hey. Hey, puppy. Either way, I have to make sure I don't burn down the forest at 3 a.m. I probably burned down half of the deadfall that has fallen over the last 6 years in just the last day. It's a German Shepherd. It's just probably, maybe it would just look a little strange coming out of the red light. A chupacabra. I haven't heard about the chupacabra in a minute. Hold on, let me I set down my big knife. We're performing a little bit of yard maintenance. We bought a tractor and moved around a whole bunch of the yard debris and started a fire. And I woke up in my usual bout of insomnia. So I figured I better go check on that fire, make sure I didn't burn down the forest. So kind of just kicked all the sticks and debris together, and the fire restarted. So I figured I better monitor for a minute. And so I started the live stream. Yeah, what do they call that? A saddleback German Shepherd? But hopefully I'll be able to go back to sleep. Probably not. Not likely. But one can hope. Let's see, where'd he go? There he is. Look at a tapetum lucidum. And then that's the red light on my headlamp, and here is the white light. I forget what brand white light, headlamp this is, but I tell you what, a quality headlamp is a thing to be treasured. I've been to a couple of training courses where all I did was hike around on rough terrain, and I destroyed a Nebo and what was the other one? It wasn't a Streamlight. I can't remember. It wasn't a Nebo, but it wasn't an Olight. It was some like buy at a local hardware store brand. Yeah, it's just a regular fire. It's deadfall. I cleaned up the property yesterday. I got some crazy pain in my hand from driving my new tractor. I don't know. I got a new tractor and I probably drove it for 5-6 hours straight, cleaning up the property, and this is the resulting fire. So we're just out here checking on it in the middle of the night, making sure that I didn't burn down Georgia and North Florida, for that matter. And looks like we're picking up here. I'm gonna turn off this headlamp here. Oh, look, check out that green light. That's kind of cool, huh? Yeah, I like this headlamp. Here comes the dog in the green light. Yeah, I like that green light. That's cool. Let's see. We got red, green, off. Yeah, this is kind of impressive. If y'all knew how much deadfall was burned in the last 12 to, I don't know, 18 hours, I'd say. I've cleaned up more of this property in the last 7 hours than I have in the last 7 years, just by buying a tractor. Oh no, it's just slightly over 5 acres. Come on, puppies. I bought the tractor off a man who he's selling his 30 acres to go buy or to go live on a piece of land that's like 300 acres in Georgia. And he had like 5 tractors. I got a really good deal on that tractor, just because he had so many tractors. He was just like, take the tractor. Check this out. Oh, you hear that? That was the dog He's off yonder. See, it's just slightly over 5 acres, but the thing about land is you got to think about it from an expansive point of view. You buy a piece of land that butts up against something like a nature preserve. So it's only 5 acres, but like off yonder in this direction, there's like 1,000 acres of a nature, or I don't know, not a nature preserve. What do you call it? The national forest or whatever. But basically, it's just a big giant forest. I don't hear my dog. Hey, hi. Nehai! There he is. What are you doing? Yeah, National Reserve. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Good Lord. Sorry. It's 3 a.m. It's going to be at least 6 hours before I have my first cup of coffee. See, I probably fell asleep at, I don't know, maybe 10. Slept till maybe 2. And I was like, I better go check on that fire. Yeah, the cool thing is that there's all this space out here that had big giant trees laying here just 8 hours ago. And Nehai, come here. I don't know what he's attacking over here. I think it's because I came through here with a tractor and made like new indentations in the brush here that's revealing new areas for him to explore. See all of this crap here, this giant log here, and this one here, we're gonna grab this with the new tractor tomorrow and come through and cut all this crap down with the bush hog. Dude, you're gonna get a tick. Get out of there. And clean up this fence line finally. See that? This fell probably about 2 years ago and stretched out the property line fence here. The land and beauty of Georgia is pretty sweet. You got it good unless you hear demons late at night, but other than that, it looks sweet. Nope, no demons here. I think I used to have that what do you call it? That thing that comes and sits on your chest, the night hag. But I haven't had that in a few years. I think it is because hey, look, no, we're gonna go put that on the fire, dude. Come on. Hey, see, damn it, that's my stick. See, dog gets greedy. But I've been like really seeking my Heavenly Father over the last couple of years, and that night hag hasn't come around as much. Man, but I tell you what has come around is some new pain in my wrist from driving that tractor. I know it's from driving that tractor because that's the only new factor, I guess. I don't really need this. Put this stick between my legs here. Hey! Damn it! I just wanted to turn the light off. Oh, that was disturbing. So, no, I haven't had that. Now, I have had some shortness of breath due to some recent kind of asthmatic issues. But I haven't had that thing sitting on my chest for a few years, which is nice. Yeah, sleep paralysis is terrible. It started really bad around 2010. Actually, I had it when I was younger too. Hey, look at this damn dog. Then I got a job that put me on a 12. Nope. Hey, it's for the fire, dude. Got a job that put me on a 12-hour rotating swing shift that knocked me out of it for a good couple of years. But the darndest thing, I remember laying there and it felt like my eyes were open, and there was a shortness of breath, and there was something to the right of me, I remember. And it was like it was holding me there, and it had red eyes. But I haven't seen it in a few years. It messed me up, but it sure cleaned up the property. Oh, man. You can't really see the particulate matter in the camera like I can with my eyes. But there's a dirtiness to the air in the North Florida, Southern Georgia atmosphere. I could probably keep this fire going for a couple of days with all the deadfall around here. But like I said, I've done probably more cleanup on this property in the last 7 to 12 hours than I have in the last 7 years. You know, I don't really recall a smell. I do remember hearing things, but not anything describable. It is a strange thing. I didn't used to believe in stuff. I used to think everything was just in the mind, like demons and stuff didn't exist. Used to. Now I'm pretty convinced they exist. The funny thing is, most of the activity that I experienced happened during my period of disbelief of such things. Go figure. I really remember it really vividly. It was when it was, I think it was before I even got married, when my wife was just my girlfriend, because it was like I ran out of government funding. I remember when my GI Bill was up, so I didn't have to, but I wanted to, but I moved in with my girlfriend, right? In her little slum cinder block apartment in Rock Island, Illinois. And it was before I got that 12-hour rotating swing shift job. I still remember this. I had a dream that there was something like hovering outside the window of the apartment we were living in, outside the front window. I still remember this because it was facing 11th Street and Rock Island. And I had a dream something was hovering out there, the window. And then in that dream, I believe I was like laying on the couch in the living room. And then suddenly I remember being in the bedroom on the bed. And I think I was alone for some reason, although my girlfriend, wife, then girlfriend at the time, should have been in there with me, but I was alone laying in the bed, looking up. and the bed was positioned up against the wall on the left side of the room. It was like facing the, south, I guess. And to the right of me, I remember there was something just there. And it felt like there was a hand holding me down, like pushing my chest down. And that was the start of it. And it went on for a while. I would have it in the middle of the night. And it felt like you would open your eyes, but you couldn't move. Like something was holding you there. Nihai, get out of there. But I don't remember smelling anything. But I remember hearing something that was kind of like a hum. I don't know how else to explain it. But I've always, experienced things since I was a little kid. I still remember there was a being that appeared in my. It wasn't my bedroom. I was sleeping in my mom's bedroom, and my mom wasn't in there. After she divorced my dad when I was like 3, I remember seeing that thing. Weird, wild stuff. Man, that brings back memories. We better go check on that fire. Nihai, where's my dog? Hey! Come on. The great thing about having a dog is that you can rely on something outside your own senses. See, you can hear him drinking the water from the outflow pond from the septic tank. Isn't that grand? Come on! But I have another set of eyes. I have another set of ears. I have another nose. And arguably, all of those senses expand into spectrums outside of my own. Well, not arguably, factually, but it's a whole other experience bringing an actual canine into your SOP, because once you get to rely on them, it's a thing of beauty, really. It's like a whole other instrument at your command. And if you get a good one, they really love you. Oh, it wasn't a bright light. No, there was an object out there. Yeah, it didn't really emit a light. Yeah, let's see. Looks like we're kind of dwindling down here. Ugh. Well, that wasn't very functional. I had an oddly shaped branch that I didn't get an opportunity to cut with the saw, so we're just kind of relying on the gravity and geometry to kind of burn it down here. Yeah, it comes out pretty clear, but it's still water from the septic tank nonetheless. You can see this whole area here. There was a giant tree here, and all of this is what grew around it because I couldn't cut it down with the mower. I gotta watch out because Nihai has left some big piles here. And all along here there was a big giant tree, and I got it all out with the tractor. you can smell like the earthy nature of freshly uncovered soil. See, it's crazy. I can ride my dirt bike through here. I can actually make a track. And like when we moved in, the entire thing is open, like right here too. This giant tree over here. See this whole path here, all the way down. The first year we moved in here, one of these giant pine trees fell down, and it's been sitting here for almost 6 years, and I finally moved it with the tractor just about 6 hours ago. There it is. I moved it to the side. Giant pine tree. So now we can open up this whole field, and what I'd like to do is get a man, can you see the particulate in the air? What I'd like to do is get one of those big rototiller attachments for the back of the John Deere, the tractor, and just maybe take 2 acres and just hobby farm it and just grow all kinds of shit. I saw a dude down yonder down the road, and those people that watch my live streams where I run my morning exercise, I always talk about this house where I smell like putrescine and cadaverine, like death chemistry. I noticed that his whole entire front yard was full of orange trees the other day. He's got oranges everywhere. I'm like, why am I not doing that? I'm not growing oranges. Why are you trying to keep the flame going? Are you just expending all of the extra branches you cut? Oh yeah, I'm burning all the deadfall. Let's say like all this stuff. See, there was these giant trees that fell. I'm gonna switch to red light. These giant trees that fall over the place, and what happened was I bought this big piece of property, but I didn't buy the equipment to maintain it, and I'm just now buying equipment to maintain it, so I'm getting it done finally. Nihai, come here. What do chickens do at 3 a.m.? Oh, they're just chilling out. It's okay, girls. All right, come on. I don't want to disturb all those chickens. Well, that smells like a farm. He's a good boy. He didn't disturb those chickens. That was a good boy. Let's see. Cluck around, find out. Would you even grow that devil's lettuce? Devil's lettuce? Why, sir, certainly you're not referring to the cannabis sativa plant, or indica, or ruderalis. Hey, hi. See, up there. Now, probably just slightly above the approval level of the outflow water from the septic tank is the animal trap water from the sled. Or the random storage container water. Good Lord. See, if this was August, these would all be mosquito factories. Get out of here. These would all... Hey, no, stop drinking that, dude. You got a nice fresh bowl of reverse osmosis triple filter water indoors. Good Lord, let's go. Damn dog. Yeah, you know, I grew a few plants in college in the closet. Oh, cannabis, cannabis, cannabis. I just got done working a 10-year stint in the cannabis industry as a scientist and product developer. So I happen to be a subject matter expert on the devil's lettuce. But it is of no consequence any longer, as I'm going to work for the state. I'm going to be working on radiation management of the environment. It'd be like having a straight up dude with a straight up job, going to work in an office. So, the things you can do at 4 a.m. Knee-high! Should mess with those horses. Those damn micro horses out. Oh, yes, they are. See, you be a good boy. These are cool horses, but Mr. Knee-high here chomped at one of them's face the other day and almost got me in trouble. Yeah, it's an interesting plant. I didn't really work on the cultivation side, but everything post extraction. So it's going to be interesting to see what a regular job is like, because when you work in cannabis in product development, you're basically, from a consumer packaged goods standpoint, you're kind of like an everything wizard, because you're pharmaceutical, you're nutraceutical, you're food, you're pharma, you're topical. You figure out a way to put weed in everything, Delta 9 mostly, right? So, and having a food and pharma background, being that I was a carbohydrate chemist before I went into cannabis and worked in the food, pharma, alcohol industry, like the distillation science, the extraction science, like everything's kind of made of the same stuff from the standpoint of chemistry. Knee-high! Come! Everything's made of the same stuff. So if you go from corn to cannabis, you trade your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats, your lipids, your minerals. Like everything's made of the same stuff. But with cannabis, you get your cannabinoids, you get your terpenoids, you get your flavonoids, you get your sulfur-containing compounds. It's just it's made up of just about a little bit of everything. It's kind of an everything plant. It's the most versatile chemical contributing plant in the universe, literally. And I don't think most of mankind's quite. The Jews over in Israel kind of get it. They're kind of leading the forefront of science regarding cannabis. It was Raphael Machalim, after all, who characterized the Delta 9 molecule in the 1960s. May he rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago, but it was Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, of course, is the main one that is of most interest to most people. But there's a whole plethora that's been unlocked as of late, and it's kind of interesting over the last 5 or so years, the lawfare gymnastics that's taken place with the general kind of status quo of the public understanding, a lot of people, that is, kind of quietly understanding that the federal government failed to recognize all the derivatives of the molecular structure that can be expressed from the plant. So by only federally classifying the molecular structure of Delta 9, a whole industry flourished that understood that the precursor to Delta 9, the acidic form of THCA, the tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, the precursor before the the whole decarboxylation, the liberation of the carboxyl group, renders it not federally illegal, and a whole industry people made millions of dollars quietly made millions of dollars. And here we are, and now we got people trying to figure out a way to get around that with this new the whole Trump reclassification thing. Because of all that, because of the Farm Bill, because of people realizing that the THCA, the acidic form, was not originally characterized as being illegal molecularly. So here we are. But the big cannabis brain is not going to make any money anymore, because we're going to work for the state of Florida monitoring radiation, apparently. So it's all right. Oh, have a good night there, Cat 612. Let's see, 3:57. It's 3:57 a.m. See, I do not have a 3:57. Oh. Yeah, walking around for a little bit has actually made me kind of tired too. Maybe I'll actually be able to go to sleep for a couple hours. Let's see, it's going to be 4 o'clock. If I can get to sleep for a couple hours, get up and go to the gym. I'm going to do a back workout. It's going to be, Wednesday? Yeah, it's back workout today. Next week, we're going to probably try to adapt to a new gym schedule, being that we're probably going to start work. Let's see how that goes. Oh, man. I don't really want to go to sleep on that fire, though, but it seems to be keeping pretty good. A lot of other people around here go to sleep on fires all the time. I don't know why I'm always trying to be the responsible one. That's actually why I'm out here, after all. Just checking on the fire. I don't reckon I will grow any cannabis. I don't really need to. Now, derivatives of cannabis, wink, wink. It's all about the medicine. The goal is to try to live my whole life without going on any pharmaceuticals. And my wife, God bless her, has already got to have a medication. And I'm 10 years older than her, and I don't have to have any medications. So try to find some sort of, Heavenly Father provided herbal solution as much as possible. I've been drinking Mullein tea for some of the residual lung and chest issues from the virus I had about a month ago, and seeing if I can encourage growth of mullein around here. It's not really known to grow in the southern Georgia, North Florida, but I've been drinking the tea. I bought it on Amazon, and it does seem to help if you kind of continue to drink it. But other than that, I don't really take any pills whatsoever. I will admit, usually, actually it's coming up here, things are going to start blooming around the end of January, early February, and my face usually explodes from the allergens. I'm not letting you out there, dude, because you're going to chomp those little micro horse faces, and I'm going to get sued. You need training, dude. All right, we're going to go back and check on the fire one last time, and then I'm going to go in and drink some water and see if I can't go back to sleep. I'm relying on the headlamp and the dog for instrumentation. The implement, the RIFLE that I have on me doesn't have a light on it. It's just bare bones iron sights. So I'm dog and headlamp reliant. And then I have my K-Bar Becker BK9 Combat Bowie knife that I've had for almost 10 years now. It's my main go-to blade. Got some aftermarket, let's see, got some aftermarket micarta scales on it. And I think that's, what is that, Valhalla Designs custom Kydex sheath. And the knife did have the coating. I stripped the coating off with some of that paint stripping stuff, that really gnarly stuff you get from Ace Hardware. I can't remember the name of it, but stripped off the coating. And then I have since applied a patina with mustard a couple of times. You can't really see the patina because of the white light, but there's a patina on it. And then it's thoroughly coated with rust inhibiting grease and then sharpened on a flat stone. So it's pretty balanced, just about the right size for chopping. And as far as the training style of Filipino martial arts, apart from some of my ginantings and machetes, is just about the right size and balance. And typically I would have it strapped to my belt for, what are you tearing up? Anyway, for cross carry there, but I'm just kind of carrying it right now. I don't usually do this, but I'm what they call Mexican carrying my Glock 17 right now. Yeah, that fire's still going. It actually looks like it picked up a little bit. See, we got a good 2 hours before my wife's alarm is going to go off. I don't use an alarm. I haven't used an alarm since I was a kid and had to go to like high school. So, good Lord chose to program me to wake up every day at 3 a.m. for whatever reason. So I don't use an alarm clock. Probably haven't used an alarm clock since they were still analog. No, I'm not that old. But I did have my grandpa's clock radio from the late 70s for some time. How we doing, puppy? All right. Well, phone's actually running out of battery. The fire's going pretty good. Getting thirsty. Let's see. It's 4 o'clock. Well, too early for beer. Guess I'll have to go drink some water. I can get a couple hours sleep, get to the gym, and I'll get some nice coffee going. Brew a nice pot of black coffee. Enjoy what will probably be my last week of my mini retirement. Let's see, where'd that dog go? Man, can you see that particulate material? You probably can't see that. Just so much dust in the air. All this stuff is going to get cut down. This tree sprouted probably fall of 2020. So that's what a 5-year-old tree looks like. It'll be good combat practice. AI, come. It's just, you never know where they're at. They just can come out of any random direction. Like, what are they off into? Let's see. Switch to red light. Pool pumps are on. That's interesting. The pool pumps are on because it's warm. It's probably 60 degrees. So that means the pool pumps are on by programming, not by temperature. I have to look into that. Why are you walking around at night with a knife? What else would I be walking around at night with? Since the beginning of time, besides a staff, a rod, what else would you be walking around with at night? I suppose if I didn't have a staff or a rod or a knife, I could use a rock. Look, another spot right here. Just 7 hours ago was a giant tree that I moved with my tractor. Let's go see what the tractor looks like under red light. I call my dog Nehi. It's short for Nehemiah. He has a biblical name, which I don't necessarily recommend you give your dog a biblical name, but being that I got shortened to Nehi, and when most people hear me call him Nehi, they think that it's like a play on words, like that he's knee-high tall. So it's kind of funny. It's a play on words. It has levels. But if you look at his official documentation, his name is Nehemiah. All All right, so we're arriving at the motor vehicle section. And here we have the new tractor. This is the John Deere 1023E with the 120R front end loader. It's got the Frontier 52-inch root grapple hook on it, which is a gnarly piece of equipment that does some amazing, awesome work. I did more work today in 7 hours than I've done in 7 years on this property. It's got the Frontier RC 2048 rotary cutter, otherwise known as a bush hog, kind of ish. And I got a bucket down yonder that I can swap out for the root grapple hook. So got a lot of work done today with that. And then of course we have the original garden tractor, lovingly referred to as Frankenmower, being that it's got a Craftsman front end and a Cup Cadet back end. It's a little bit of a what do you call it? A shit rig. The Frankenmower. Hi, Pubbas. And then we have the Coleman BT200X, which is just my kind of little compound cruiser. All right, I'm getting pretty tired, actually. I lied earlier. We're gonna go check on the fire one last time, then we will retire. At least the puppy's getting some exercise tonight. I'm starting to smell. It's that cool southern forest dew smell is coming through. Like right now. I wasn't there just like an hour ago. Reminds me of being a young airman at Herbert Field. I happened to get up and do PT. Why are you using the red light? I'm trying to preserve my night vision. Oh, yeah, I know. Sounds corny, but... Not getting any younger. And I'm starting to be able to tell, you know, diminishment of performance, if you will. But I still do have these giant blue peepers, which are pretty sensitive. I don't know if you can see that, but that moon is just blaring. Causing all kinds of light out here. Like, you probably can't see what I'm seeing. And I'm being diminished in what I can see because there's a phone in front of my face with a time and a battery level and a chat section with a bunch of people that aren't giving me a thumbs up as usual. That's okay. Let's see. We are still going. Let's see. In the morning, I have to go to the gym. Let's see, where'd my puppy dog go? Hey, hi, come here, puppy. Yeah. Here. Let's see. Look at the phone shadow. Oh, I have a hobby farm. We're in between, what do you call it? Plant schedule, if you will. we'll be planting some stuff here soon as far as the, um, I guess, vegetation, if you will. There's certain things that grow here, like some herbs and some berries that we make jams and stuff that just grow naturally, like a permaculture thing. And but mostly what we do is chickens here. We do dual purpose birds that both are egg layers and meat birds, and then we do various seasons of raising whole batches of meat only birds, where we hatch them and then we grow them up into a certain age, and then we slaughter them. And it's like a big event. It takes a couple of days, and we fill the freezers full of chickens. So we're mostly chicken farmers, but we do grow food too. But we're looking into, maybe that's why we're clearing out the back acreage here with the tractor, because we're looking at actually starting a whole hobby farm, if you will, for more crop growth, if you will. But mostly we've been focusing on chickens over the last 4 years, but we're going to expand that out and maybe get into some goats and some cows in the future. So, but I don't farm for a living. It's more of a homestead hobby farm type of a deal, to kind of teach my daughter about natural ways of eating. And I'm a pretty healthy dude for being a 30-year-old, as pointed out. Being that I mostly eat farm fresh eggs and chicken that we grow here, and we do grow a lot of we grow the typical stuff: tomatoes, onions, peppers, corn, herbs. We've done strawberries. We have fruit trees. We have peach trees. We have apple trees. Let's see, what else? Strawberries we haven't done very well in Florida. Cabbage we haven't been able to do very well in Florida. I did cabbage really well back in Illinois, but I mean, you could grow anything in Illinois, but Florida, it's taken a good 6 years of when we moved in, we didn't have animals, and it was all sand, right? So we had to buy fertilizer and manure, compost, mushroom compost, cow manure. But now we have dogs, we have chickens. And the chickens free range for a good couple of years, so they deposited their, nitrogenous material everywhere. So, hi, hello, Arpad Mark. That's brutal, man. Do you kill the male chickens? Hey, doggy, by the way, dogs can't see red light. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you actually raise chickens, you want to have a rooster to hen ratio, right? So if you get roosters, you have to, take care of them. So I've killed them and grilled them before, but the roosters don't taste that great compared to the meat birds that we raise for meat. So we typically try to sell them on Facebook Marketplace or give them away now. And the roosters that we get are they're beautiful birds, very colorful. They got some rich personalities to them. So, but yeah, I mean, you get used to it. I mean, it's just nature's way. I mean, the bird is made to be taken apart and eaten. That's pretty cool. How did a dork like you get a daughter? Am I really that much of a dork? Yeah, I know I'm a dork. I don't know. I've never really had a problem, with the ladies. So I've, always been a lover of the ladies. So, and that's been kind of a mutual thing. I love the ladies. They tend to love me back. So what can I say? You just got to do what you got to do, do the right things. lead a meaningful life. And now we're not going this way. We're not going to wake up the girls. I'm talking about the chickens. Why does anyone walk around? The reason I'm out walking around is because I started a fire last night and I didn't put it out. So I came out to make sure I'm not burning the forest down, is why I'm actually out walking around. And I also have insomnia and don't sleep much. And so I figured I'd just come out and kind of patrol around the property and hang out with my puppy dog and check on the fire. So really, there's multiple reasons why I'm out walking around. I just happened to turn on my live stream and you happen to enter into it, if you will. Look at that moon. You must get paranoid? No, I'm pretty content, actually. I'm pretty content. I mean, I'm like walking around in the dark in the middle of a forest with bears and alligators and dogmen and who knows what else could be out there. But I have no fear or paranoia. I mean, presumably, billions of light years out there, trillions of stars and planets, presumably things could be out there, and yet I'm not afraid of any of it. Look at this. Look at that thing. A lot of potential energy there, locked up. A giant fallen tree. Who says all I'm carrying is a knife? This is a live stream, We have rules for what we can show and talk about. But this is a big knife, though. You're underestimating the knife. Granted, I'm not a big dude, so I do have to have a big knife. Good Lord, this thing's been going for 66 minutes. All right, we are going to shift this fire around and go get a drink of water and see if we can't get a couple hours of sleep. LMAOO, are you actually walking around in full gear? What is full gear? I have one standard issue puppy dog. Oh man. Let's see, what's this in my back pocket? Doggy controller. Mini educator. What is that noise? It's like we got some sort of like Star Wars robot in the distance or something. What the hell is that noise? I don't really want to go to sleep on this much fire. I've been having so much insomnia. Oh, tap to turn on low power mode, 20% battery. No, I'm not shocking my dog, but I will if he acts a fool. So what happens is he, he's a puppy dog and he's got puppy dog tendencies. So when we get herds of deer that come through, he'll chase the baby deer, and he gets himself attacked by mama and papa deer, and he got kicked in his spine by deer, got paralyzed, sent to the hospital, and cost me thousands of dollars in veterinary bills. So we have to train him to not chase baby deer, hence the electronic collar. It's more for his safety. So, but I haven't had to shock him for a while. He's been pretty good, actually. He's getting trained, but he's been not so good with jumping in the bed when the door's open to the bedroom when mama's in the bed recently. So we're trying to figure out a way to get him trained not to do that. Well, I think we have granted enough, view into the homestead evening. I guess it's not evening, it's morning. But I think we're going to retire for the moment. I have a fence. I have all kinds of fences. Look, there's a fence right there. Not to mention a actual perimeter fence around the entire compound. This is a gated compound that is completely fenced off and surrounded by mostly what they refer to as cypress swamp. I do hear a train, which I don't often hear here. How does the dog get out of what? The house? The dog doesn't get out unless I open the gate. See, this is an internal gate. This is a horse gate. So the entire compound is gated off. But then there's a horse gate here for the back compound, right? Because it's separated into front and back. See? It literally says horses. This is a horse gate. So we have a main gate into the entire compound, and then we have a horse gate to the back compound for where presumably your horses would go. I don't have any horses, but we're talking about getting some. We have a horse barn up there. So, but no, the entire thing's fenced, so the dog can't. Now, we did have holes in the fence, and the dog would get out and get down the road and kind of stir up a ruckus with the neighbor horses. About 2 years ago, so he can't get out anymore. So. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I let him out. We go for a run with the leash usually, though. I don't let him out unleashed unless it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, like I just did about 20 minutes ago. But no, we're talking about getting a horse. We have a family friend in kind of our little family friend group who he's this big dude, and he supposedly Or not supposedly, he does. He like breaks horses, so he can get them real cheap. And so maybe we talked about it. It's probably not in the cards for this year, being all of the new developments, new job, new lifestyle. Holy cow, the particulate in the air is just off the chain. I'm literally waving. I can see the particulate. I don't think the camera's picking it up. Yeah, you get a wild horse and you get it tamed down, by training it. So, damn dog, you brought that stick all the way over here. All right, hold on one second. You see that fire off in the distance? Wow, this thing really zooms in. iPhone 17 Pro Max. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, 200 meters away. Maybe 300, 250 maybe. I don't have a drone. Let's see, that's pretty far away. Look how far away that is. I don't have a drone. I was looking at getting a drone when I still had a high income job, like a really nice drone. But now I had to buy a tractor. I had to buy a trailer. We had to buy a liner for the pool. Drone is probably not in the cards for this year. I don't like a lot of things. I was going to go to a training course, a couple of rifle, like tactical training courses. Now I'm not going to be able to go to now because I don't know what my new vacation schedule is going to be. They are like $200. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into drones for a while. So I've been busy. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I had to buy a tractor. I mean, we've been living here for years with not really maintaining it like we should, and I moved around so much deadfall today. I did so much landscaping with this thing. It had like 50 hours on it when we bought it, and it's got like 57 hours on it now. But shit, my back is killing me. All right, well, I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up. So, have a good night, y'all. Shalom.